Welcome. Good morning. It's 6 a.m. There's a thunderstorm happening outside, and we're going to do this ASMR style. You know, I got kids sleeping next door, so we're going to keep it low key. There's a nice break. Everybody relax. Everybody sit back, chill. We're gonna take it easy. All right, y'all. This is the AuthorTube and BookTube under 1K marathon. This is the final day. I'm going to take an ear off so I know where my volume's at. It's the final day. It's been quite the experience. I was heavily involved in the first 2 days, and then I had to work my day job the rest of the week, but I've been watching. I've been catching up on streams. I've been learning a lot about some new authors. Very cool, very cool. This is a break party stream, so we're not doing any sprints. We're not doing any writing here. However, where am I? There it is. However, if you would like inspiration for your next stream, your next set of sprints, please let me know. I have writing dice. I will give you a writing prompt on demand for your next stream. Go ahead and drop that in the chat if you so choose. Once again, my name is Adrian Santiago. I'm a sci-fi fantasy author. I am the author of the MYTHIC series, and the first novel of that series is called Shadow of the Spark. Just yesterday on my newsletter, I shared the opening scene, or what will be the opening scene, from book 2. Already got a little feedback on it. Already went in there and brushed it up a tad. The newer version, I think, is even better. If you would like to receive little bits of new writing like that and insights into my writing journey and my process and all that good stuff, just go over to booksbyadrian.com. Sign up for that newsletter. You're going to get a free ebook short story, and that's going to serve as a prologue that's going to introduce you to the world that I write, and you can dive into the novel proper after that, if you so choose. The question for today: what did you achieve during the less than 1K marathon? Tell me your success stories, whether that involves your subscriber count rising, or having written a whole novel in a week, or anything in between. Let me know. Remember, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and go to booksbyadrian.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Let's check in with the audience. Good morning, Sam. How you managed to be at all of them, I do not know, but here's to you. Laura, hello. Rachel, welcome. JC, just popping in, hello. Alice, I think you're supposed to be my mod, aren't you? With all of these knuckleheads in here, it might get kind of rowdy. So let's see. Let's go ahead and knight thee. All right. Let me know if that worked out for you. Okay. I'm going to do some potato tapping for us. I might be a little new to the ASMR world. I don't believe I've ever watched anybody tap on a potato. So interesting. Mic brushing. They do this, huh? Been over my head. Morning, Dawn. Welcome. All right. Thank you, Rachel, for letting me co-host with you. I got some 370 words during that on my JTS short story. Very nice. Coming right up, Miss Nettles. All right, now you're going to have to write these down because I'm not going to remember later. So I'm going to give you a second to get your stuff in order. I'm going to go ahead and roll these for you. Talk about ASMR, am I right? Okay. All right, you are going to write a story that involves alternating points of view with at least one of your characters. I fucked this one up. There we go. Okay. All right. With at least one of your characters having the characteristics of being charismatic. I apologize if they're not focusing. This is also a non-human character. What that means is up to you. But this character is charismatic, not a human, a bit greedy, and from an uneducated background. Interesting. Now, you are telling something set way back in ancient history. It is a message of hope in a fantasy setting, and your main character is up against the forces of nature. So again, alternating points of view. I think that part is mostly optional if you're just following one character, but whatever. Set in ancient history, a fantasy story with a message of hope where your character is up against the forces of nature. Your character is charismatic. Your character is not a human. Your character is greedy. Your character is uneducated. Several new scenes with my partner. Very nice. Oh, yeah. I missed a bunch. Hug the like button and subscribe. Thank you. You know what? I'm going to like my own stream. How about that? Boom. I asked in the chat for progress reports. I have here. Wrote some flash fictions. Ended up submitting 4 flash fictions and 1 drabble to publications. Please elaborate. What is a drabble? 5 paragraphs into a short story for another anthology, and also got a few subscribers and found some. Nice. Boom. You have been knighted with the magical wrench. Some new people to follow. Very nice. First ASMR video I ever saw years ago was someone tapping on a potato title. See, that's funny because obviously that's probably how it started out, was a bunch of goofballs doing goofy stuff. And then very, very quickly it became pervs looking for a pretty girl that's making noises into their ear, because that's what I thought ASMR was. Have a document open. All right. Got it. Thank you. See what I can do. And what you do with that story is obviously entirely up to you, but I hope you share it. A drabble is 100-word exactly story. So exactly 100 words. Interesting. A challenge. An answer from Alice. My sub count went up. Very nice. I got 870 in one short and 827 words in the main project, and started another with 943 words in another, and successfully went through all my streams but one I missed. Awesome. And you did a bunch. All right. Another dice roll. Very nice. Let's go. Let's see here. I'm going to leave out the point of view one. I feel like that one's kind of unnecessary. I mean, obviously, if it gives you a prompt for your character, then that's your point of view character, right? All right, here we go. This is set in a foreign country of some sort. Depending on what country you're in, that could be anything. Your character is up against supernatural forces. This is set in some sort of pre-modern era. That much is up to you. And the theme is loneliness. Loneliness. Now, what is your character like? Your character is... Whoop. Here we go. Your character is witty. Your character is arrogant. Your character is privileged. That makes sense. And your character is non-binary. So a non-binary privileged character who is arrogant and witty is exploring themes of loneliness in a pre-modern era versus supernatural forces set in a foreign country. Happy writing. All right. All right, for the Black Hair Press monthly calls. This month's theme was evil editors. Oh boy. Hello, theme. I just got back from taking some meds. The rain has slowed down outside. Yeah, it's raining here. We got some thunder. The rain was falling a little harder. It's eased up a bit. MVP of the marathon. Yo, she stepped up. She stepped up. Needs a plaque or something. Ooh, I just got some good news. My fight with University of Phoenix is over. My student loans from there are being discharged. That is what's up. You know what that is? That's good karma from running this thing. That's what that is. You created something special, and the universe said, thank you. Here's a blessing. Those dice have such satisfying sound. Not too loud, not too harsh. I'm trying not to let them be too loud. I could drop them from higher. So I know, but it's such a good news for me right now. Hey, we're here for it. Congratulations indeed. Congrats. Yes. Awesome. Very awesome. All right, looks like I'm caught up on the chat. Very nice. Okay. Thank you, universe. I'm going to go save a kid or something now for the rest of them. Hey, that's what we do. That's what we're here for. Put out what you want to get back. All right? It's one of the 5 laws. I say shit like that, and people are like, what are you talking about? Every once in a while, I throw out everything changes except the first 4 laws, and everybody's like, what are you talking about? What I'm talking about is the 5 laws of the universe. The first law is that you exist, and there is nothing you can do to change that. You have always existed, and you will always exist. The second law is that everything is here and now. There is no past, there is no future, there is only right now. The third law is the one is the all are the one. So God is you, and you are God. The fourth law is that what you put out is what you get back. And the fifth law is that everything changes except the first 4 laws. Those have helped to form the magic system of my books, and also the laws of reality that we live in. That is awesome, Sam. And you're welcome. Anybody who wants a prompt, just let me know. My evil editor Drabble is a manuscript with editor strikeouts. The editor is mocking the author's use of a cursed text in the story, while the editor themselves starts getting possessed by the story they are editing. That is brilliant. So the actual story would have like red markings on it, right? Little notes written by the editor in the margins. Oh, this is cool. That's a cool idea. Wow, to publish an entire book like that would be really interesting, right? Damn, that's a good idea, Laura. I wish I thought of it. You ever run into those where you hear an idea and you're like, God, I wish that was my idea. I wish I had thought of it. That is an outstanding idea. Chandra, welcome. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Your name, but spelled with a K, is a species of being, a race of being in the Mistborn series. They're like shapeshifters, and they're called Kandra, but it's spelled with a K. So every time I see your name, I just think of this like globby shapeshifter thing, which is rude. I know that's not who you are, but your name is Kandra. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's 100 words, so short and sweet. Yeah, not just short and sweet, but if it's specifically 100 words, then that's an interesting challenge, right? To tell an entire story in exactly 100 words. Am I understanding that right? Does it have to be exactly 100 words, or is it just like under 100 words, right? Right on, right on. All right. What else is going on, you guys? I didn't have too much planned for this. It's 6 a.m. I just woke up. I've got the Ancient Tome. And where can we read this? I'm going to wrench you real quick here. Stand by. And if you have a link where we can read it now, or where we will be able to read it, just whatever you can share with us, throw it in there, because I know I want to read it. That sounds dope. That sounds dope. All right. So we've established what everybody has accomplished this week. What's everybody going to wrap up today? What do we have for the final day of the marathon? We're on the last few sprints. We end by noon, I believe. Noon is the wrap up party. I won't be here. I'll be at church. Or I should be on my way back, actually, by that point. It's on submission, so we'll see if it gets accepted and published. Right on. Right on. Well, let us know. We'll be waiting. Forgive me, I have to call. All right. Okay, so yes. So it's everybody finishing up for today. And maybe some highlights, right? Some highlights from this week. What were some of the standout moments? Maybe something that was particularly funny, or maybe a reading that you were listening to that was really good. I got to do a reading from my novel on the second day, Monday. I read a little action scene by request. Somebody requested. It was Mama Maggie. She requested that scene specifically, and turned out to be a pretty good reading. I was into it. So if that's something you guys are into, you know what? I can read the scene that I shared on my newsletter yesterday. I could do that if you guys are at all interested. You let me know. Take another promote this will keep me busy this weekend, please. The answer: I hope to finish my secret project. I'm not sure what to do with it yet. Secret project. All right. yeah. You've earned some hibernation for sure. The other flash fiction stories I submitted this week are Blooming in Midnight from The Words Flow and Trunda. Fascinated. Sarah, welcome. Low key little break. No sprints, just chilling, just hanging out. Join in. There's a question for you to answer, which is here. All right. Alice would like a writing prompt. I am at your disposal. Here we go. They went all over the place this time. All right, let's check this out. Okay. Okay. Just organizing them so you can see. All right. Okay. Your character is as follows. Your character is empathetic. Empathetic character who is also not human in some way. This character is impatient. I would imagine that would get them in all sorts of trouble. This character, and this makes sense because they are non-human, they are also a shapeshifter. A shapeshifter character. That's funny. I was just talking about shapeshifters. Your character is up against society. Your story is set in the future, but the future of your hometown. And the theme, which goes nicely with being up against society, is love. You have the theme of love. It takes place in your hometown sometime in the future. Your character is up against society. Your character is a shape-shifting non-human who is impatient but empathetic. Happy writing. If anyone else would like a prompt, please shout it out. All right. Brainy. Trenda is a horror version of Tribbles from Star Trek. From the perspective of a creature born pregnant, its mother grows over it like a Russian nesting doll. They crush and absorb each other. Once maximum layers is reached. What? Where do you get these ideas, Laura? Hello, Angel Faye Writer. I love your name. Faye is one of my main characters, spelled exactly like that. You are in good company. Hello, welcome. What did you achieve during the Under 1K marathon? Tell us your success stories and what you're finishing up today. For those of you just coming in, I do have writing prompts available on demand for your next sprint, your next stream. We're going to be here for another 25 minutes or so. 35 minutes. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's thundering out there. So far, I haven't woken up my family, so I think the ASMR style is working. During the marathon, I wrote over 12,000 words and made a ton of new friends. That gets some snaps from me. That's what's up, Sarah. 12,000 words? Get after it. That's what's up. Still noting? Nothing, I'm assuming. But hopefully to finish my outline, Project Curves. Very nice. I have been working on book 2. You know what? Let's go ahead and read a little bit from book 2. What do you say? I am going to open it over here. I'll share the screen so you folks can read along if you like. I figure a nice short little reading would be cool. Here we go. All right. So this is from the pages of the upcoming MYTHIC, The Face of Gaia. This is going to be book 2. Second novel, but I do have some smaller books in the series coming out before then. All right, we're going to share. Boom. And we're going to make this easier to read by hiding the menus. Actually, why don't we go? Yeah. All right. And then we can zoom in. All right. We'll start reading in a sec. I want to get caught up over here. Today, I hope to finish my short story, A Strand of Tarot, Rewrite, a horror story told from the perspective of a fortune-telling machine at a dark carnival. The machine has a huge mechanical spider in it. Its magnetic spinneret lowers to the swirl of tarot cards, and it does a 3-card pull in exchange for a lock of the person's hair. Laura, where do you get these ideas? How do you come up with these ideas? That sounds amazing. That does sound amazing. Accomplishments of taking a brain break. Good. Write future stories with Dawn. Finished up our novella. Very nice. Began the prequel novel. Good. Got most of my admin caught up. You're killing it. Got 10 more subscribers. Wow. You have had a very productive week. Well done. Well done. All right. Here we go. So this is the opening scene from Mythic, The Face of Gaia. On the planet Gaia, in the Valley of the Emerald Pyramid, we find the Grove of Lost Souls. And our point of view character is Faye Lucia Noelani. Here we go. Soul burned above the canopy of snow-white leaves. Its beams made silhouettes of the black bark tree trunks in clouds of the mist swirling on the black soil ground. Faye squinted up at Soul, peeking at her between the leaves. It's time, Faye said, lowering her gaze. She sat in the lotus position on a tree stump on the north side of the Grove of Lost Souls, where the victims of a bloodthirsty monster were laid to rest. Her fire-red dreadlocks were loose, falling chaotically over her shoulders, hiding much of her bare chest beneath. Have the vibrations begun? Migdalia posed cross-legged on a large rock in the southeast corner, not quite achieving the same lotus position. Her afro was now braided tightly against her scalp in an intricate design. Her clothing was rough-spun and homemade, using animal skin, fur, and twine. Yeah, Migdalia said. Her eyes darted from one tree's missing person poster to the next. I'm good. Faye turned to Lear, her eyes widening momentarily, silently repeating the question. Lear completed their little triangle within the circle in the southwest, sitting on a stool that he had carved himself. His hair had grown long over his shoulders, but he wore most of it pulled back into a tail to keep out of his face. He had a full black beard and thick chest hair peering out from under his gi, which was once white, but a year in the wilds had changed that. He nodded at Faye and smirked mischievously. Oh, he's feeling good, Faye thought. Faye took a moment to look over their auras, carefully. Here, on the face of Gaia, Faye could see all 7 layers of a person's aura, a feat that would have taken her years to develop, having only reached 4 before coming here. On Gaia, reading auras was natural to her, effortless. She had unlocked something just by setting foot on this planet. She found most of the witchcraft that she practiced on the spark far more natural here, a well of power within her that harkened back to when she visited the core of the spark. But that was an incredible surge of power, whereas she felt more balanced here. Altering her vibrations used to require much more from her. Migdalia and Lear still needed help from mushrooms they ate, but all Faye needed to do was alter her breathing. Despite this natural clarity and connection to her surroundings, many answers still eluded her. She would find them out there, somewhere, across the face of Gaia. Her lovers spoke the truth, though. The mushrooms had kicked in for them. Their vibrations were in sync with hers and their new home planet. Their auras were clear. We're ready, she said. Let's begin. They closed their eyes in unison, and Faye began a low, quiet hum, barely audible, as though from far away. Slowly, gently, respectfully, she increased the hum's intensity. Lear and Migdalia replicated it. The humming grew louder. When one of the 3 had to take in a breath, the others kept the hum going. The world vibrated with their bodies, with their hearts, with their minds. From deep inside Faye's chest, a light began to glow. The freckles on her skin became constellations on the mists around her. The light grew brighter until it was all there was. Unobstructed by any clothing, pure white light filled the world. Her senses burst to life like someone turned a dial up to 11. She could smell the bark of the trees around her, the leaves above her, the beasts that wandered the woods, and the mists themselves, which smelled like gravestones. Could hear the birds flying miles above, and the flow of a creek nearby. Her skin was sensitive to the air that moved across its surface and on the ground and the ground's vibrations beneath her. The hums were at their loudest, all three giving it all they had. Then, as though rehearsed, they brought the energy back down. Faye's light went from blinding to warmly inviting, and finally down to that of a flickering candle. The mists around them had receded to the circular tree line, taking on the hues of her light, which had turned a warm golden color as they swirled between the black bark trees that framed those weathered posters. All around them, dozens of three-dimensional shadows with white glowing eyes stood before their respective trees in the spaces where the mists still flowed, their black translucent faces lined up with their missing person posters. Faye and the others stood and turned to face their visitors. The shadows swayed to the flicker of Faye's light against the waves of the fog, like reflections on rippling pond water. The specters were an unsettling sight. Migdalia had once speculated that spirits were likely in another dimension, seeking a scientific explanation for this supernatural phenomenon. She'd explained that a three-dimensional object has a two-dimensional shadow, so it would stand to reason that Faye's light shining on a fourth-dimensional being would create a three-dimensional shadow. That was Migdalia's way. It helped her fit Faye's magic into an intellectual box. More importantly, it made sense. She might be right, Faye thought. Hello again, Faye began. Thank you all for coming. We're always here, one ghost said, with a voice like rain. Yes, Faye said respectfully. Of course, I would thank you for your time, but... Indeed, said another, resembling the noise of a rock slide. We would call this a waste of time, another ghost said. But, indeed, echoed Lear, interjecting with a raised finger. A few of the ghosts chuckled. The others tilted their heads in confusion. Both reactions gave Migdalia the creeps, as evident by the shift in her aura's colors. Faye heard Migdalia hum, as they'd done earlier, and her aura cleared again. That's my girl, Faye thought, just like I taught you. This should be the last time, Migdalia said. For a while, she added a little softer. Well, get on with it, said a different ghost. Cyan Patey, please come forward, Migdalia said, her voice cracking. Again with this, demanded a spirit that sounded like the creaking of an old ship. He isn't here. How many times? Why would he appear? Stop trying. Faye closed her eyes and thought back to the night that she and her partners faced Marco Patey, the shadow of the spark. His vibration had unsettled her. She visualized him in her mind's eye and listened for his rhythm once more. Remembering its arrhythmic patterns, she returned to the shades of souls around her and searched for a match. We know you're here, Faye said. I can feel you. I've had to go back to our encounter with Marco Patey, but I remember it well. And now I feel the same rhythm here, somewhere among you. She circled the grove, reaching out with her hand. She closed her eyes. There! Her light shot out of her hand in a powerful white beam. A shadow ghost appeared where there had been none before. How are you doing this, witch? Cyan made the word a curse. The white light of his eyes leaked out like a wispy flame. I am no witch, she said. As it turns out, she shrugged. What do you want? I want you to answer my girlfriend's questions. Faye didn't have to look to know that Lear was smiling. His smile was louder than most explosions. The spirit of Cyan Patey said nothing. He only tilted his head for a better look at Migdalia. And that is the opening scene of Book 2. What do y'all think? Let's go back here. Forgive my sniffles. I'm fighting off a cold. Nothing strange about it. Your brain is awesome. Coming up with stuff like that. A lot of love for Laura's brain, as one should. Afternoon, I wish. 6:30 in the morning. Where are you? Oh, thank you. Thank you as well. Met some new writers. Made great progress on my Valentine's novella. Very nice. Captivated, you say? Read book 1. Get ready for book 2. We do snaps here. It's the internet. Thank you. I'm a dick. Wonderful scene. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love it. Very immersive. Snap, snap, snaps. See? Alice gets it. Thank you. Have to nab book 1 back from the kid. Again. Always bothers me when people say that. I hope it's not actually a kid. It's a grown ass person. Snaps. Yo, so I sent that scene out to my newsletter yesterday, and I intend to share more scenes from the upcoming stuff, not just the next novel, but the other books that I'm writing. I intend to share scenes from those fairly often on the newsletter going forward. This year is very much about sharing some of this new writing that I was doing last year, and obviously I'm still doing. So if you have not done so yet, I feel the need to remind you to go to booksbyadrian.com and sign up for the newsletter. You'll get a free short story, and then you'll get stuff like this every now and then, and get to send me critiques and stuff. That part's always fun. Right? Gained subscribers, received a customer for book cover, and met new writers. Very nice. Of course you may. Of course you may. All right, let's see here. So, it's early. I'm still waking up. I get up at 5 every morning to get some writing done, but I usually don't get to sit down to write until about 5:45, and I write until 6:45. But today, when I sat down at 5:45, I was getting ready for this. So I haven't done any writing today. So sharing a little of my writing with you guys was nice. I don't get to do that very often. And again, that's why I'm looking to do it more this year. I am looking to publish 2 books minimum this year. One is a short story collection, and that's going to give some backstory, history, some insight into the kinds of stuff that you were reading in book 1, how that world was created, the spark, the man-made moon, and it'll tell you how it kind of came to be, how it came together, and also how the villain of book 1 came into power, so to speak. All of that's going to be in that short story collection. It will be called Mythic Histories and Lore, Volume 1. And so that's a little companion to book 1, because it's heavily focused on the spark, like book 1 was. Then the next thing I'm publishing after that is a novella. I have a working title for it. I don't want to share because I might change it. The working title is kind of gimmicky, and I want to come up with a real title. But the idea there is that there is a character in book 1 who is drastically transformed by the end of book 1, and she has a bigger role to play in future books, but she does not have a presence in the second novel, because in the second novel, we're switching our focus from the spark to the planet Gaia, as evident from this first scene. So because we won't get back to her for a while, she has her own little novella covering the events just after book 1 and kind of getting you ready for the next time that you're going to see her. So that will sort of be like the book one era stuff. You've got the actual book one, you've got the histories of the spark, and you've got a little elaboration on one of the characters there, and that's what's going to be publishing this year. And then book two, the second novel, will most likely be out early next year. All right, let's get caught up with Laura here. She was sharing. I was talking. Here we go. I watched from the back of the truck as the mighty central big top tent pole was stabbed into the ground, releasing a swarm of clowns like an ant colony stoked into a frenzy. Terrifying. Rickety booths, conglomerations of smaller tents, and sporadic stages were erected, fabrics rustling in the wind like dried flower petals of dusty mauve, burgundy, and charcoal. Excuse me. The out-of-tune organ music floated through the carnival of possible dead things, the bizarre carnival of Asticha. Let's get this set up at the end of the third row, directed the carnival master. 2 clowns loaded me up on a dolly. My metal, I forgot to share what I was reading. On a dolly. My metal joints jostling at the manhandling. We passed warped wooden booths, each holding stranger views than the last. Performers touted having never before seen oddities inside their dingy tents. Beings and trinkets that were cursed if handled incorrectly, but could foretell the future for the right price. Posters fluttered, showing illustrations of mermaids, chimeras, and other impossible creatures that were promised to be on display inside. My soul shivered in anticipation. Plug it in. I jitter as my lights come to life, refracting through my glass casing like a colorful prism. My joints electrify, finally moving under my own willpower as my theme music begins to compete with the melancholic organ music drifting on the breeze. Girl, sugar darling, girl. That's all. I have no. That's awesome. That's awesome. You're really good. I'm embarrassed now that I even read anything. That was dope, Laura. You're awesome. You are a very good writer. Well, folks, we got 15 minutes left in this stream. I'm going to actually call it 10 so that we can bail a little early so y'all can shift over to the next stream where I believe they're doing sprints again. And then come back to my channel at 8 a.m. where I will be doing more sprints yet again. In the last 15 minutes, if there are any last minute takers for writing prompts on demand, please let me know. And Laura, I expect you to finish that story and email it to me so that I can read what happens next because I'm already invested. Thanks. I do too. They were a Christmas present. They were either a Christmas present or a birthday present. My birthday is in October and Christmas is in December. They're pretty close, so I sometimes get muddled as to when I got a particular gift. But it was not this past holiday season, but the one before. Oh, I know you are. I have no doubt. You're a go-getter. Go get it. Okay. Show of shouts. Who here has read my first novel? Who here has not? It's okay if you have not, because I might be doing another giveaway if enough people have not. For those of you unfamiliar, we're talking about this bad boy, Raher. I can't do the thing. There we go. That's a perfect shot. So this is my baby. I love her. These are my babies. I love them. If you would like a copy, I might give one away. Richard, I haven't heard this joke in almost 15 minutes. Thank God you're here to make it. Thank you. Since you haven't read it yet, I'll give you the tagline. Will the help of a witch and a bounty hunter be enough to catch a prolific serial killer, or will Detective Vandersee's career end before she can close her first case? Find out in the pages of Mythic Shadow of the Spark, true sci-fi fantasy, a sci-fi world with fantasy elements. It's often been compared to Altered Carbon plus magic. So there you go. I say we call it book twerking when he waves it in front of the camera. Book twerking. I'm not sure that quite applies because I'm holding it still. Book planking? No. It's definitely not twerking by the definition of twerking, right? I see what you're trying to do, Richard. I just feel like you're reaching. You're better than this. It's always so satisfying to hold a physical copy of your own books, isn't it just? Thank you. The book has a fat booty. She does indeed. She does indeed have a fat booty. Yeah. She's got some thickness. She's thick. Know what I'm saying? She got them childbearing thigh. All right, I'm stop. Childbearing hips. I have read 2 chapters. 31-year-old now. This kid grabbed it. Well, at least he's an adult, because there's naughty stuff in that book. I look forward to you getting it back and reading the rest. And let me know what your 31-year-old eldest kid thought as well. Tell him to post a review. I need him. Prose bearing hips. Thank you. As do I. As do I. As one should. Right? Yo, either it's way too late for y'all or it's way too early for me. I don't know, but the combo is weird. I will force him to post a review. That is a must in our family. Good. 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 I don't know what you're laughing at. I haven't said anything funny. Yeah, that's not healthy. You should take a nap. You should take a nap. After you finish writing that. After you finish writing that writing prompt. Then you have my permission to sleep. No, that does not count as going to bed. At best, that's a power nap. The kids, all adults, and some writers too, all hear me preach on reviews. Well, if they're all writers, they shouldn't even need the preaching. She laughs in defiance, like, you can't make me. We started our day around 3, and I'm about to clock into work for 8 hours. Oh boy, yeah, you're gonna get silly. At least it's my day off. A long day. Sleep is for mortals. And as I said earlier, we are gods. I will take a nap. Also, Laura, I need to hop on into that stream. Yeah, both simultaneously, right? So I am going to be back at 8 a.m. for a last batch of sprints. I will be hopefully getting some writing done during that. I have some video editing to do. I might do that. I'm not sure. As of right now, my Wi-Fi is crackling, probably due to the storm outside. So hopefully that stops before that stream, because that's a 2-hour stream and it would really suck to be all crackly. Or I could read another volume of manga. There are gods of sleep for a reason, though. They do exist. Sandman is problematic now. The greatest graphic novel series of all time is now problematic. My favorite comic book of all time is now hugely problematic. Such is my life. Why do good things happen to good people? Can somebody answer? This there's so much behind this, Laura. You know, there's just so much like anguish and sadness, but also hope and love. There's so much in that, Laura. Yeah, it's a thing. Just as I'm about to finally read the leather-bound volume of Sandman I have had on my shelf for over a year. God, it's so good too. I'm trying to keep the art separate from the problems, but it's difficult. In this particular case, it is very difficult. You know, I used to say that a lot about separating the art from the artist, but that's hard because art is very personal, right? It's very self-reflective in many ways. And yes, we write fiction and our villains are villains and they're make believe and they're imaginary and we come up with horrible things for them to do. But when the horrible things that your characters do or have done to them are things that you yourself are also doing horribly to people, that changes that art and to be more self-reflective to the artist. It's more about his fantasies now. And it's a problem. It's a problem. I don't know, man. I don't know what the right answer to this is because, and this is kind of a somber note to go out on, but I have to. I'll be the first one to tell you that while folks have nice things to say about me now, I wasn't always a good person. And a lot of my decisions and mistakes in the past are they suck, man. Like they're embarrassing to think back on. I hate that there are people out there in the world who remember that version of me and who maybe only think of me as that version of me. And I consider myself evidence that people can change and people can make progress, develop, evolve, and go through some sort of redemption. But that's also very personal. I'm ultimately the only one who knows that I've gone through those things, other than the people who see those changes in me. But it's hard to like look at this creator and find out that they've done the things that they've done, and then see those things in their works, in the works that you loved. There are problematic parts of American Gods that now are skewed because of what I know of Neil Gaiman. There are parts of The Sandman that are now skewed because of what I know about Neil Gaiman. The Ocean at the End of the Lane has a scene that now is very, very dark in context. So I don't know about that whole separating the art from the artist thing, man. Like, I don't know. Yeah, we know. We live in the world. We know. Same, Sam. It's been a horrible bunch of years when it comes to artists showing their true colors. Indeed. Indeed. Indeed it has. No, I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't Neil Gaiman levels of monstrous. I was just a punk kid, punk kids do stupid shit. I was a punk kid that did stupid shit. I stole shit. I was a thief. I used to steal shit during a very desperate time in my life where I had no money. And now I am married. I have children who I need to feed. And I'm still struggling with money issues. But I would never turn to those actions again. That's something that a past version of me did that this version of me would never do. It would never even cross my brain to do that anymore. People suck, and sometimes they get better, but sometimes they don't. People can change, but in that particular case, he seems clueless, and it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. No, it wasn't. And he does not appear to be very remorseful. So, yeah. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. I don't know why. Oh, because of my money issues. Yeah. I don't think anybody's going to pay for that. That, however, now we're talking. That's where the real money is. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry about ending it weird. Booksbyadrian.com. Sign up for my newsletter. You'll get a free short story. That short story works as a prologue to the novel. So if you haven't read it, go check it out. I am sharing scenes from book 2 and from other projects in my newsletter all this year. So sign up for that. A thank you to Sam for putting together this wonderful event and keeping up with it. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel, sign up to the newsletter. These are your assignments. That's your homework. All right, y'all. Let's say goodnight. Thanks for hosting. It was my pleasure. Maybe I'll sleep after the closing stream. Maybe you should sleep now. For the wrench. Thank you for being here and using the wrench. Thank you, Adrian. We shall see you in a bit for more weirdness. By then, I should be awake and fed and ready for actual sprinting. Richard, come back at 8. We're going to do some sprints. We're going to get some writing done. And I've got writing prompts if you need ideas. I want to read some new Richard Holiday. I read the fantasy stuff that you sent me. I haven't been able to talk to you about that yet. It's good. I like where you're going with it. Keep it up. Fantasy Richard is good, Richard. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, y'all. Hasta la pasta.